Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today I'm talking about the top 5 units that are underrated in Kill Team. Some questions you might have are, what does underrated mean? How can a unit be underrated? I mean, Kill Team is a relatively limited game. Surely anything out there the community will have already found and appreciate. They will have given everything its proper praise, surely. There wouldn't be any form of mob mentality. What do I know? I just want to help you look at certain units in a new light. But of course, to clarify, to make this list, you do have to be underrated. You can't just be bad. You know, you do actually have to be good. Take, for example, orcs. The only units that aren't regularly taken in any form of list they have would be burners. But burners aren't going to make it into this list because burners are genuinely a bad unit that should never be taken unless you're in that for the fluff. You might have seen a battle report I did a few months ago, link somewhere up here, who knows, maybe if I've put that in there at this right time. It was Eldar versus Grey Knights, and in this particular battle report the Eldar had a Wraith Guard on their team. And you know, as I trolling around the various Kill Team messaging groups, some guy posted a link to the video and somebody else responded saying, "Oh, a Wraith Guard, not even going to watch this then." And I think that, you know, this does form a lot of competitive players' mentality, at least to some degree. And of course, the fact that the Eldar actually won that match is pretty irrelevant to the person that said that, I suppose. And of course, a lot of online communities very quickly become echo chambers with the loudest voices having the most weight attached to them. Or even, as it might sound, the best players having their own biases listened to by everybody, even when that bias is indeed just a bias and is rather unfair. And of course everybody else just falls in line because, hey, he is genuinely a good player that has his opinions, and he's probably right because he is a better player. So naturally I am now going to tell you why all of them are wrong and I'm right, and perhaps you should relook at some of these models. I feel that I could have titled this video a, hey, look at this model that costs more than 30 points again. But I'm actually going to try and stay away from most of those models where I can, because I think that's too easy. Likewise, I wish I could just say something like, oh, a Chaos Cultist, he's underrated, except he's not underrated. Right, all of those cheap models, everybody knows that they are good. So I'm not going to pick any of the cannon fodder either, because we all know that you have to hold objectives, and cheap models do that really, really well. Bad doesn't mean underrated. But before we jump into the list of the top 5 underrated units in Kill Team, I would like to say that if you are a subscriber to my channel, a big double hello. Very pleasant, very wholesome. If you want yourself a double pleasantry in the next video, like, subscribe, leave a comment right now, and that can be yours. Okay, let's start with the first obvious one because I've already mentioned it, a Wraith Guard. A D3 Flamer at strength 10, AP -3. You pretty much auto injury roll anything that comes at it, and yes, it's only damage 1, but that's kind of okay. Flesh wounds are good. I know everybody talks about high damage weapons. You can out flesh wound a team and break them, like that happens. Now it's very survivable thanks to its T6, but this isn't really an offensive model, this is a defensive model. You can use the 8-inch auto killing flamer here to stick it in the middle of the board and just dominate the center. Nothing can really touch you unless of course they're charging out of line of sight. And if you're going to use him in commanders, consider giving him the D cannon instead of the D scythe. I think I've got that the right way around. Use a cheap warlock commander and use guide on the Wraith Guard. You can reliably one-shot almost anything in the game, assuming there are no invuln saves, but it is a legitimately good model. Okay, for number 2, I want to go over to everybody's favourite faction, Genestealer Cults. Everything has their place. We all know the Acolyte fighters, you know, they've got the best weapons in the game, literally. We know that the Neophyte hybrids are cheap models. They can run around, they can hold stuff, that's genuinely good. They can be a horde and then swarm everything with high leadership, so they probably won't break, hopefully. So instead I'm going to talk to you about the hybrid metamorphs loving life at a smooth 8 points. In core packs, run them naked and just spam them, honestly. They will blender anything that they come up against. In more advanced packs, where you're now using 12-inch hand flamers, give them hand flamers and still spam them. They are going to get auto-hitting wounds through. Now, why are they overlooked, you might ask? Because once you put the model on the board, if your opponent looks at it too hard from across the room, it will literally explode and, you know, blow shrapnel into your eye. That's how delicate this model is. But if you are playing on ultra close confines or you have very dense terrain, this is a legitimately good pick that you should consider to spam. I want to say that these guys rock, but it's the Acolyte fighters that get the rock weapons, not the hybrid metamorph, so it doesn't quite work. So these guys shank. Pick 3. Okay, alright. We're going high points again. My bad. I'm going to point out to you the humble Bullgrin. Okay, bear with me. We all know Imperial Guard are good, and they are so good. We know Plasma Spam, we know Flamer Spam, we know Blackstone Fortress model character spam. Even if you're not spamming, you know that 3 Scions can hot drop on you and kill anything. But take a look at the Bullgrin and his desire to tank anything in the game. He can be kitted out to handle high AP weapons or hordes. In fact, hordes shouldn't even bother shooting him because he'll be a 2-up save T5. You can't touch him. If you want a point held, he can do it whilst the rest of your team wins you the rest of the game. He can be the anchor to the whole team, making sure that the enemy cannot dominate the middle or whatever it is they want to do. Yes, he's really, really expensive, and so a lot of people might think, oh, for example, I would never play a Bullgrin in my normal Space Marine team. And sure, of course you wouldn't, because you don't have the models to make up for his expensive points cost. But you're in the Guard now, you have the models, you can take that Bullgrin to tank whatever it needs, and still have enough models to do everything else. The high points cost works within the faction. Okay, number 4, and that is, that's not their number actually, is it? Their number is more 7, that's right, it's the humble, I need to stop saying, I need to, hold on, I'm going to look up a synonym. It is the meek, deferential, respectful, submissive, self-effacing and unassertive Plague Marine. Hold on, Glass. Plague Marines are awesome. What are you talking about? Okay, buddy, but I mean naked Plague Marines. No special weapons. Just a stinky boy and his bolter. Look, look, look. We see gunners and fighters everywhere, of course. The Death Guard make up the majority of their team in their special weapons. Those are stunning. Those are none of them are underrated, okay? Well, apart from maybe one. But none of them are underrated. But you know what you don't see? Normal Plague Marines with a bolter. Like, I think I've seen one in a list, maybe. But never more. And I get it, you know, 1 Plague Marine with a bolter is equivalent to like 5 Poxwalkers, maybe 6, and that's, I mean, that's, damn, 6 models are really good. Where am I going with this point? Okay, look, toughness 5 with a 3-up save and a feel no pain is really good. That's not being shifted off a point. They are not offensive powerhouses. Yes, I realise that. But you know how I often say that Kill Team shouldn't be called Kill Team? Bit of a misnomer there, and it should be like Survival Team? Well, you know what Plague Marines do? They survive. Like, really well. As always, it depends on the pack, but yeah, play more Plague Marines. Play more Plague Marines. Okay, it's number 5, and this was actually a really tough pick. I didn't really know where to go with it. But this is going to be a little bit odd. Give me a moment, okay? This is going to be Craftworld Eldar Guardian Defenders. They're only 7 points, so they're spammable, but among top tier lists, they never are. Now, why is that? Wait, hold on. I've already done Wraithguard, haven't I? And that's the same faction. I should pick something else. Okay. Right. I will leave my Guardian Defender conspiracy spam list for another video, but trust me, there's legs in that. Number 5 will instead be... I guess I'm only doing 4. Okay. So instead, I'm going to give you my pick for the most overrated unit within Kill Team, and that is, are you ready for it? You know it, it is every Space Marine. Yep. Okay, chill out, guys. In a more realistic sense, Necrons and Space Marines weren't really considered in this list because post-Pariah Nexus, it's still kind of too early to really say what is overrated or underrated from them. Oh no, sorry, they are all overrated. It's too early to say what's underrated from them. Anyway, everybody, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. What are your picks for the most underrated units in Kill Team? I came up with my 4. That Guardian Eldar spam list is coming, there's no doubt about that. One day, I'm going to tell you. I don't know why, but it seems like an interesting thing for me to say. And if you've made it to the end of the video, I would like to give you a really big triple hello. There you go. Honestly, That's just for you for making it to the end of the video. Thank you very much. It really helps a small channel like mine out. If you want to show more appreciation, a like, a comment, a subscribe, all really helps. I do also have a Patreon. If you want to know more about my channel specifically, check out Facebook. And if you want to know more about Kill Team, check out my Discord. All links in the top comment, description, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to finish my videos now with a hobby update. So what have I done? I've just finished Bellacore, who I think went pretty well. Hopefully I'm showing you a picture right now. That would be the ideal thing, wouldn't it? And now I have built and undercoated a Bloodthirster, because demons, I'm hoping, are going to be one of my 40k armies. So Bloodthirster next. I also want to do a Lord of Change. As you can tell, I'm kind of giving myself all of the big models to paint first, because they're quite fun, before I have to get onto the swarm of little dudes, which I don't really want to do, but like, okay. It's not like I've deliberately picked the easiest possible colour scheme I could come up with. White. All contrast. Anyway, I've got to go. Bye.